new government elected in July. Housing is absolutely at the top of their agenda. I think part of the problem, though, is the industry as a whole is slightly worried that they don't fully understand just how you go about getting the different parts of the industry, I think that's a significant point, to deliver different sorts of homes. I mean, you've got the volume house builders who build houses for sale, and they will build as many as they can sell. And it's a perfectly sensible business model, but they're not going to build more than they can sell at the price that gives them a decent return. So that's the volume house builders. That's not going to solve the problem of a huge number of people who can't actually afford to buy or don't want to buy. So that's where I think it's really important that you have focus on alternative means of occupation. So build to rent, renting is really, really important. But then you've also got to accommodate the people who can't afford a market rent. And that takes you down into affordable housing, right down to the social housing, which is the cheapest form of housing, of which we clearly haven't got enough because there are far too many people in temporary accommodation, far too many children living in bed and breakfasts, which is a huge social problem. What I think is really encouraging is that there are a lot of good organisations in the industry specialising on different sorts of housing. And I think part of that is all about trying to get people to understand that renting is not somehow a bad thing, that actually allowing people to rent good quality accommodation at a sensible price is a great way of satisfying housing need for a large part of the population. And good on the BPF for all the work they've done on that. They still need, I think, to get a lot more leverage with government in understanding why that build to rent model is really important for helping to solve the housing crisis. I think a really good community, is a mix of all those things with a very, very good component of housing, but you've got to have somewhere for the people to work as well. Now, if you look at something like King's Cross, I think that's doing it quite well. There's a lot of employment there are a lot of amenities, and there is residential. If you go way back, places like Bourneville, which is actually where I grew up, is a perfect example of a sustainable community where people had somewhere to work and somewhere to live. So what I'm very against is this idea that you just create housing ghettos, that everybody sort of exits from in the morning to get on the train or get in their car to go somewhere else to work. I want to see a properly integrated setup.